What are you learning today that will help you better serve God? Okay, we're up at Lake Gregory today. It's about 94 degrees. It's a lot cooler up here than it is down in Los Angeles area, San Bernardino. Let me show you some of the area here. There's a lot of people. There we go. And people out on the water. And you remember a few years back, this is the store. I was here several years ago, and the store was it caved in because of ice, the snow and stuff. And now it's much larger. It's pretty nice actually. So I just been walking around checking out and enjoying the weather, the scenery, as I imagine. Let me here the parking lot. Whoa, what do we got here? Remembering 9/11. Remembering 9/11. Huh. Well, what do you think? 9/11. That's 911. 911. Let's see. Let's see. Excuse me, sir. I'm just wondering. Did you see the sign right here? It says remembering 911, or rather, remembering 9/11. Some people say that was an inside job. What do you think?
Depends on what you define as an inside job.
Depends on what you define as an inside job. Do you think the government was in on this maybe, or do you believe the official story that the government gave to the American people, that it was these Arab hijackers that took these planes and flew them into the building and then they destroyed the Pentagon? I mean, come on.
I don't believe it entirely. I believe that if you want to talk about inside job,
speak up so you can.
If you want to talk about inside job, it was inside in the fact that the government knew that it was going to happen and they allowed it to happen. So it was kind of partly a false flag operation.
A false flag operation. What is that exactly? Can you define it?
A false flag operation is an attack engineered by the government on its civilians and people there in order to justify implementing further government controls and bureaucracy over the people. From 9/11 came the Patriot Act.
The Patriot Act, and also the war against Iraq started in 2003, shortly after 9/11. Well, that was a little over a year later, wasn't it? About almost 2 years later.
That was
a year and a half, maybe.
Later.
Yeah, what was the purpose of that? Was that tied into the 9/11, you think? Any connection at all?
No, there wasn't a connection between that, but there was a connection between the 9/11 and the general war on terrorism that resulted. And the Bush Jr.'s administration decided that they needed to take out Iraq's Saddam Hussein because he was a terrorist.
Okay.
So the war on terrorism
was a manufactured war. It was fabricated. Created by the United States,
based on the 9/11 incident as a justification.
Okay, so we had the TSA workers came into existence too. The TSA stands for
Transportation
Security Administration.
Administration.
That and the Patriot Act. So basically, it was an effort to clamp down on our freedoms, right?
Exactly.
And it was to trash the Constitution. What else did that accomplish? Did that move us toward a new world order that Bush used to talk about back in the 90s? Remember he said...
Bush
Senior. Yeah.
Used to talk about. It attempted to move us towards the new world order, but that's failed so far.
Okay. So what do you think, remembering 9/11, what's the purpose of that exactly? What do they want us to remember? Whoever put this...
They want us to remember the victims, the people that died in the attack.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Well, they want us to never forget that incident so that we can hopefully stop it from happening again in the future. But again, that depends on we the people being very vigilant and watching out for signs of things like that about to happen and taking action in our own hands.
Let me ask you this. How do you think those buildings came down in New York? Do you think that it was the way the government said, that they just burn and all of a sudden it looks like a controlled demolition, doesn't it?
The second building was a controlled demolition because it fell vertically down, and there was like some indication there might have been an explosion at the base of that building.
And what about building 7, I think, who wasn't even hit by a plane, remember?
Right, but that's the one that was a controlled demolition, it looks like, and then the one that was hit by the plane, what happened was the construction of that building there had cross beams that were consistent of aluminum, steel, and the temperature from the fire caused by the aircraft crashing into that building melted those beams.
Melted the beams, yeah, I understand it. Yeah.
And that caused that one to crash. But the one that had no aircraft hit to it and then just kind of went vertically down, that was a controlled
demolition. And that happened later in the afternoon.
Yeah.
The owner was gave the command to pull it. And of course, you can't pull a building unless there was, it takes a while to set things up to pull a building. It couldn't be done just like that, which means it was planned, right?
Right.
You would agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so the government lied to us, didn't they?
Sure. But the government lies to us all the time.
Well, as Jesse Ventura has said before, he was on a Fox television broadcast one time, and one of the guys got up and walked out during the interview because he was offended. I think he was a Jewish guy, actually, and Jesse said, "Why should I believe our government? They've lied to us before."
Right.
Yeah, so you got to take everything the government says with a grain of salt. Wouldn't you agree?
Right. You have to investigate the claims made by the government independently by yourself. You have to, as Reagan used to always say, trust but verify.
Very good. Thank you, sir. Appreciate your time. Have a great day. Well, there you go. People don't all agree that the official story is true. They question the narrative. And I imagine that's why a lot of people live up here, up by the lake and up in the mountains, because they want their freedom. They don't believe the government. The government has become quite evil today. And if you read Revelation, it talks about the beast system. The beast would be the political powers aligning themselves with the false philosophies, the false prophet, which represents the false churches and the false philosophies of the world. And these make war against the saints, okay? The people of God. Remember, the dragon rising out of the sea represents Satan, and he deceives the nations, which is why I believe that the Satan is loose again. We could speculate on when all this happened, if it, in fact it did happen. And one man, and I would kind of agree, it probably happened in the 1830s, okay? The 1800s, when Darwinism became popular, higher criticism, questioning the authority of the scriptures. That's when you had the Westcott and Hort translation and all these other false Bible translations. They got away from the King James Bible. Today, you've got a lot of mega churches. They got this Hillsong music and Bethel music coming in with the drums, electric guitars. They're doing away with the hymns, the godly hymns of the centuries, and we're playing all this modern music. False worship, my friends. Get away from those churches. All right. May the Lord richly bless you. Have a great day.